Hey, it is Friday, April 17th, just after tax day. Oh no, we got a huge extension on that, right? Boy, things are really different around here, as you may have noticed already. Just running some experiments to see if we can progress into the 21st century with some of the I don't know. I'm trying to get advance my technological skills. Anyway, we'll see how this goes. But I just got a couple things I want to talk about today. Oh, it's probably too late because by the time you've seen this, you probably missed Keola Beamer's show. It's at 8 o'clock tonight, Friday night on the East Coast, 5 o'clock here in California. But I really encourage people to check out all of the live streams that different people are doing because of what is going on in the world right now. And then Muriel Anderson has another one coming up on April 30th. So that's a couple weeks from now. It's on a Thursday. Yeah. So, and let's see. I never really plan, what I'm going to start playing. Well, sometimes I do. Sometimes I say, let's start off with a bang. Anyway. And other times I just, turn on the camera and start playing something. And so, ended up with a little improv there in C with, and I'm finding that, and I don't know if this is true, some of you might be finding this. There are some times right now that are really relaxing, quite different, because it's like sometimes you just don't have the choice of what of the 7,500 things I'm supposed to do this week should I get going on. Well, sometimes that now it's only down to a couple of things that the choices are not as much. And so yeah, I don't know. I'll save that for another day because I play that all the time. You guys have heard way too much of James, right? One of my students mentioned something really interesting the other day, and that was she was working on the arrangement I did of Jerusalem. And she said, so I dug up James Taylor's video on it. There's somebody who put it up that was taken from his book, and she said that it just kept playing and she got distracted, and all of a sudden she heard another version come on. Looks like mine follows it right away in some YouTube recommended lists or something. So that was kind of cool. And I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe there's more than 10 or 15 views on that by now. Anyway, let's see. That was one of the tangents I hadn't planned on. I have a couple things I want to talk about. Let me see if the first is Dean. Congratulations on a great job of Bron Rar. That is, just excellent. And it was really fun to listen to. It made me go back and listen to the original again, and even watched a little bit of my video because I'm thinking, did he come up? There's some really good fingering ideas in there. And anyway, but so really efficient way to play it, and got some really good feel in there, and the sound is really great. So congratulations, really cool. There was a request for this. Uh-oh. I can remember this, but I was surprised to get the request for uh-oh. Well, that's how it goes. This really needs a pick, huh? Anyway, we had done so many Jethro Tull songs that when I saw the request that for Cross-Eyed Mary, I thought, we got to have Cross-Eyed Mary up here already. Maybe I'll get Max on that, because that sounds like a good song for Max. But it definitely has a cool riff, right? Uh-oh. Then a half step higher, right? something like that. Okay, I should research these things better before I just go out on a limb and try to fake my way through them. Anyway, I will try to get to that. The real exciting news around here is, I'm not sure where they are right now because they're right over there, really. I'm keeping an eye on my two little birds. And Sandy brought up, and if you've seen some of the recent videos, they're not going to be here long. I talked to the lady at the bird store, Los Gatos Bird Watcher, and I said, you know, right now sometimes they like try to get their wings working, but they don't have enough power and oomph and lift in them, and yet. And she said, don't you know, they'll take off sometime soon, and they will probably land in a tree nearby, and then Mama will still keep coming to feed them. She'll find them, and they'll probably never come back to the nest. Because if you've seen, well, hopefully, if all's going well, you're seeing this right behind me. The nest is getting really small, and it's like they're jostling for space all the time. And then one of them kind of gets up on the edge of the nest and flaps, and they're almost getting their feet off the ground. So it's really fun to watch. So Sandy brought up that we need to name the birds, and I thought, well, I don't know, some dumb names popped into my head first. Heckle and Jekyll, like Disneyland, or at least some cartoon characters, right? And then I thought, well, some of you may know this, but we have about 15 years ago, my son was here alone for a weekend. We were off with the girls with softball, and some stray cats started hanging around the house. And I told him, Corey, whatever you do, don't feed the cats. I'm probably told this story before, but we can't. I'm allergic to cats, or I think I am. I had been for many years. And so we come home over the weekend, and not only have they been fed, they've been named. And they are Wonton and Egg Roll. So Corey named the two stray cats Wonton and Egg Roll. And they kind of, they hung around for a little while, and we really got fond of them, and turned out I wasn't as allergic to them as I thought. And so then they went off and disappeared, did what stray cats do. They took off. What key is it in? Okay, wait, I gotta get back to the story. I can't get off on this tangent. Boy, it almost... Okay. So, a couple weeks later, we run into an old friend of mine, a lady I used to referee volleyball with. She's refereeing, Rebecca must have been a freshman. So, and that was the first time we'd seen Vicky in years. She now had cats to give away. So we picked up a couple cats, and staying with Corey's tradition of naming them after food, we had Mushu and Potsticker. Now Potsticker, many of you were familiar with Potsticker, unfortunately met a untimely demise a couple of years ago now, and broke everybody's heart. 2 years ago or so, we just had a 2-year birthday for on April 12th, I think, according to Lizzie, of their new cat, her cat, Ponzu. So, we've stayed with name the cats after Asian food or sauces or things like that. So then the next thing that crossed my mind with the birds is, let's go back to the original pair of cats we had, Wonton and Egg Roll. But I want to open the door to anybody who wants to join the coming up with names for the birds and maybe the mother. Let's see, they're not doing too much right now, but okay. So, wait, I had one more thing to say about that. No, that's the end of the bird story. So put in your suggestions for what we should name these two things who will probably be gone today or tomorrow. So, and then I have, of course, hours and hours of video that I don't have time to sort through and find the good stuff. So but there's a couple of cool highlights. Let's see. What was the last thing I wanted to talk about? Oh, now a total tangent. um, we're finding things to do, I think, at this because of the day and age that we think, I really would like to do that someday. And so the other day on a TV, I stumbled on Me TV and they were showing a Columbo episode. And I got to tell you, when I was in high school, Sunday night, well, first year it was on Wednesday nights, but then they moved Columbo to Sunday nights as part of the mystery movie series. Every third or fourth week there'd be a new episode of Columbo. I just thought it was the coolest thing ever, and ended up stumbling into some videos too recently of like Peter Falk accepting an Emmy for the character, and then also even roasting Frank Sinatra as Columbo. Falk just owned the role, and so caught an episode last night. That's what I mean. I think we kind of have the news on a little bit all day, and now with no sports. That's usually what's on here at the house late at night, or in the Giants games and stuff like that. But with no sports, I ended up watching an episode of Columbo with a British actor named Donald Pleasance, and it was called Any Old Port in the Storm, and it was about a winery, the Carcini Winery. So it was a great story. He murders his brother, and then you watch Columbo track him down and stuff. Just gripping. But the funny thing and the coincidental thing is, afterwards I looked it up. Thought, I wonder where they shot those winery scenes. Because they would shoot most of the stuff on the Universal lot, I think. But it turns out the winery scenes were shot right here in San Jose at the old Muriel Winery, where I even played many times. It's on the east. It's in the Evergreen area of San Jose, the hills out that way. And the Muriel family settled here in the mid 1800s. Well, actually, the Pellier family started the winery, and their daughter married Pierre Muriel. And then another few generations of the Muriels ran the winery. And another little fork of the generation ran a winery just down the street from here called Lone Hill Winery, out 2 miles from here. And as time went on, we got to know one of the members, Clovis Muriel, who was probably a great-great-grandson of Pierre, maybe just great, but anyhow. Coached my daughter's softball team when they were in high school and became good friends of the family. So, and coincidentally, 40 years before that, I bought my first car from him, my 1964 Chevy Nova. I bought it in like 1970. I thought it was so old. This is a car that's like 6 years old. It's like, now my newest car is about 12 years old, but times have changed. Anyway, so had a really interesting 3 different interactions, like 20 years apart, with Clovis Muriel. So great guy. The first one was my car when I was a teenager. Later on, he had his twin daughters taking music lessons at my store, and then he became my daughter's softball coach. Okay, that's way too much information. Make up something else, Neil. That's what we wanted. Okay, let's try that D minor thing again. Then the C we need. Okay. That was, of course, that turned into traces, which I know we have a lesson on because I've had plenty of students work on it. So that is it for today, I think. Let me check my list again. Talked about birds, cats, Colombo, Keola, and Muriel. Okay, hope to get this up quick enough for people to tune in to Keola. It's about 4 hours from now, and we'll see if that gets up before he's live. Not a good chance because I'm going to mess around with some post-production stuff now and see if we can step up the game here at Totally Guitars. See you next week.